What's up, everybody? You're very, very welcome along to Thursday night's late night agenda. As always, I'm your host Craig. It is a pleasure to be with you guys. I've made a little bit of a change tonight. As you can see, my microphone is a little bit closer to my mouth because I noticed last night doing the stream with Terry the crispness of his voice, and I'm trying to play around with my own system just to make sure that I can get my audio as good as possible. The reason that I normally move the microphone a bit further away from this big gob of mine is because when we're doing watch-alongs and Liverpool score or something happens, I tend to shout and scream a lot, and I've burst a lot of eardrums, I would imagine, or hurt a lot of people's hearing. So with us not getting worked up with things the way they are, I thought, hey, let's move the microphone a little bit closer to my mouth, and hopefully it's a bit clearer for you guys to hear. But look, I hope that you're all doing well, and I see a lovely comment in straight away from Thomas McGee, who said, Happy Autism Awareness Day to everybody around the world. It is Autism Month as well, in the month of April. So to all my fellow Aspies out there, to anybody who has autism or has autistic children or who is on the spectrum, especially at this moment in time, lots of love to each and every one of you. I know one of the things that we're struggling with in my own house here with our own little dude is structure, because no school and stuff like that. It's trying to make sure that our little son has the structure that he needs, because me as well, I love structure, which is why I'm so, I suppose, regular with the streams and stuff that we do. But that being said, we'll move on. Lots of football stuff to talk about. How are we, ladies and gentlemen? Thank you to everyone that watched last night. By the way, as you guys know, we had Terry from the Football Terrace on for a conversation, and I have to say, it was one of the most enjoyable chats that I've had the pleasure of having with a guest on so far in our stream. I loved the direction that it went. And Connor pulled a really, really good 17-minute clip from it that went up as well earlier on. So if you haven't got time to look through the entire stream, the clip in particular that Connor pulled was myself and Terry talking about regular media and YouTubers and the kind of crossover and the differences and what we can learn from each other and a few other bits and pieces. So again, if you do get a chance, ladies and gentlemen, please do check that one out. Right, what else have we got? This is your show. I have a few things to talk about, but as always, ladies and gents, this is your channel. Lover and you, cabbage, said Dave Sweeney. It's weird. That's a phrase I use all the time, Dave, and it's one that seems to have gone down well with people. But cabbage, cabbage is something that I say all the time here in my own house as well. What have we got? Clap for the NHS at 8 o'clock. Scotty, how do I put this? Clapping for the NHS, clapping for the HSE here in Ireland, or whatever your health service is in the world, is a beautiful touch and a beautiful gesture. Don't get me wrong. I salute them and I salute everybody that does it. But just do what we're told, I suppose, is more important than making sure that, we stay in as much as possible and do all the things that we can do to help these people that we all rightly idolise and have so much respect for at this moment in time. So, as I always say, frontline workers right now, heroes, each and every one. Big love to your son, my friend, said Keegan Murphy. Thank you, buddy. Really appreciate that. Little dude is upstairs now. He's actually probably watching YouTube because he watches a lot of YouTube. But look, there are some transfer talks for us to get through. The big phone call tomorrow, by the way, is going to be another update on what's going on with regards to the future of the league. There will be a phone call between the Premier League, the EFL and all the other stakeholders to talk about more developments, and these are going to be regular conversations moving forward. I'll touch on it in a bit more detail later on in the stream, but again, I want to get through your comments tonight because I'm always well aware that as much as I love having a guest on, as much as I love talking to Terry or Cash or Boya or whoever it might be, our show is built off interaction, so I want to get through as many of your comments as I can tonight, whilst of course touching on the few little bits of transfer news and gossip that we have to get through. So again, thank you for your support yesterday, but your support has always gone forward, ladies and gentlemen. It means the world to us. Ash, how are you, my friend? I see you in the chat as well. Chat last night went great, said Justin the Woods, and do you know what, mate? As did Keegan as well, by the way, say that it just goes to show that you can have differences with people, and myself and Terry were open and honest about the fact that we have had issues in the past, but if you can sit down and talk things through like that, you will always find that you probably have more things in common than not. So I think it's something hopefully we can do a little bit more in the future as well. I mean, we're reaching out to as many YouTubers as we can right now to try and get more people on to just try and get everybody's opinion on what's going on right now. Right, Thomas Smith has mentioned something that I wanted to touch on. He said, hello mate, De Bruyne has jumped on the bandwagon. I love the way you put that, Thomas, mate. Yes, he has. And for anybody that isn't aware what Thomas is talking about, the bandwagon that Kevin De Bruyne has jumped on is the Harry Kane bandwagon. The previous bandwagon that what's her name from West, Karen Brady, was on as well, in believing that there is nothing to do right now than cancel the Premier League season. That's what Kevin De Bruyne seems to think. He's more worried about protecting next season. And I kind of, like, it's easy for me to sit here and say, oh, of course he's fucking worried about next season because he won't win the Premier League this season. But there is a Euros and a World Cup and a Copa America. Not a World Cup, just be Euros and Olympics, a Copa America, and lots of other stuff going on next summer as well. So there does have to be some structure. So I'm not going to just jump on here and call the guy a clown, because I kind of get where he's coming from, and I will get to it a little bit later on, by the way. Did you get a new shirt, said Thomas? No. I told you guys before, I collect football shirts. I've got loads that I just don't get a chance to wear. Some of the ones I don't wear because they won't work with the green screen. So if I wear particular yellow shirts or green shirts, you won't, like, I'll look like I'm invisible in a floating head. So no, I've probably over 100 football shirts, mate. I'm a chav at heart, as I always say, buddy. Right, what have we got? Darkness03 said, I still think Timo Werner will come to the Reds. Can't deny the allure of Bayern, especially when he always played in Germany. And that is one of the main topics that I wanted to touch on tonight, ladies and gentlemen. The whole situation around Timo Werner, because there have been reports in Germany that suggest that Bayern Munich have rekindled their interest in Timo Werner and have ended their interest in Manchester City's Leroy Sané. Now, on this, everybody believed that Timo Werner was more than likely going to move to Bayern Munich last year, but it was a bit of a shock to everybody when that move didn't materialise and he signed that new extended contract with Leipzig, which of course, as we know, does have a buyout clause. Now, a little bit of an update on the buyout clause, because somebody said to me, I think it was Subi actually, said, Craig, does that buyout clause still have to be triggered in April? I read last night that somebody else believes, and this is coming from a publication, a newspaper, I can't for the life of me remember which one it was. I'm always saying that, am I? Like, but you know me, memory like a goldfish. That clause doesn't expire until June. So again, I'm not sure what we are to believe in this, but this is an ever-evolving market. Now, with regards to Timo Werner and Bayern Munich, would there perhaps be, I won't say sour grapes from Timo Werner's point of view, but I imagine if he wanted to go to Bayern Munich last year and that move didn't materialise, that he might be a little bit let down or maybe a little bit saddened by the fact that it didn't happen. I still firmly believe that Liverpool are a more attractive club, that Liverpool are the club that he'll end up at. But I don't want to be disrespectful to Bayern Munich, because as was pointed out, the allure of Bayern Munich to a German international can be quite strong, particularly if you look at the fact that Robert Lewandowski is getting to the twilight of his career, although still a magnificent footballer. You could make the argument as to Timo Werner being a natural successor to Robert Lewandowski. Now, I still believe the allure of coming to play for Jurgen Klopp, coming to play in front of the Kop, coming to play in front of the Liverpool fans, will be something that Timo Werner will want to do, because the Premier League is the biggest and best league in the world, and Timo Werner has more chance of winning maybe European silverware at Liverpool right now than he would have at Bayern Munich, although he's probably nailed on to win the Bundesliga title if he goes to Bayern Munich 9 times out of 10. But I want to know your thoughts on this, ladies and gentlemen, because there's going to be lots of this stuff. There's going to be people just like us trying to come up with ways to get people to watch our streams. Newspapers are going to be coming up with interesting little twists on transfer stories. A lot of it with absolute good intention. There will be some people, of course, out there just trying to shit stir and get clicks. But I always believe that journalists, as a whole, work with the utmost of integrity, bar a small few. Who am I talking about? The likes of Richard Keys, Andy Gray, those type of people that most of us have no time for. But the written journalists that put these stories out, they generally do try and do as much background work as they can on these things, and maybe somebody's whispered a little something in their ear, I don't know. But I still firmly believe Timo Werner will be a Liverpool player next season. I think he's spoken too much about his admiration for the club, and I think the groundwork has been done on this one. I think Liverpool have probably been monitoring for a very long time, as of course will Bayern Munich, but I just can't see it going anywhere except Liverpool. Now, call me an eternal optimist, tell me I'm wrong by all means, but I'm setting myself up for another bit of hurt here, ladies and gents. I really am. Scotty said, what game are you doing tomorrow for the watch-along? Thank you for raising that point, Scotty. We were going to do Istanbul, as you guys know, and we will do Istanbul. But Sky Sports Premier League and Sky Sports Main Event are showing the famous Liverpool game against Newcastle tomorrow night, and we thought that would be a much easier way of doing the watch along, because you can head over to Hot Mic then and sync up the Hot Mic app with your television, and then I can give you guys proper play-by-play commentary in sync with your own game or your own television. I'm just going to triple check what time that's on at tomorrow, because I'm 99.9% sure that the game is going on at 7:30. So just let me check one thing here, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, so tomorrow, Sky Sports Premier League and Sky Sports Main Event at 7:30. Liverpool, it's the 24th anniversary of that remarkable game between Liverpool and Newcastle, so we're going to be doing a watch along of that instead, and we're going to save Istanbul for another day. This kind of just fell into our lap. So again, another reason, download the Hot Mic app now more importantly than ever, because if you join us a little bit late tomorrow, it won't matter. You can still sync up my commentary direct to your television via that lovely sync button on the app. So if you haven't done it yet, you know what to do. Download the app, put in the code that you see on the screen there. I've got something lined up later on that's going to make you smile, ladies and gentlemen. You know I don't take myself too seriously. I was going through some family photos from a while back, and I found one that is rather embarrassing of me, and I have it ready to show to you guys on the screen later on, so remind me to do that. Right, more comments. Timo Werner to Liverpool, said DJ Vinas. Junkie Funky Smith. I just love reading that name, mate. I know I keep saying it, but I do. Be more money too. Oh, we have the best manager who's German. Douglas, how are you, mate? The Dugout Football Channel said, I think, let me just get this, scroll back up, sorry. I think if Werner goes to Bayern, he's not a guaranteed starter. Can't see him getting in ahead of Gnabry, Lewandowski and Muller. Think he will be a bench warmer for Bayern. At Liverpool, he starts. Interesting. For me, I've never understood the appeal of Thomas Muller. Am I on my own in that one, ladies and gentlemen? I just never understood why he is as highly thought of as he is. Call me an idiot. I just don't know. Maybe, I think we all have those type of players though, isn't it? That we just don't understand how they've been as adored as much as they have. Ash said he's really missing the footy now. Buddy, I'm with you. And well used the emojis. Love the WFM emojis, by the way. The 6 times emojis and the C Senor emojis. Well in, Ash. And thank you, by the way, to all of our members. I love seeing so many gold badges, which lets us know that our members have been with us for 3 months. It means the world to us, particularly during these hard times, ladies and gentlemen. John Hamilton, Joanne, Keegan, everybody else, Morton, Doug, and everybody else that has signed up to become members. Even though it's only 99p a month, all of these added up means that we can keep producing the content that we are. So thank you guys so much from the bottom of our hearts. We are into a new month on Hot Mic now as well. Hot Mic runs from the first to the last day of every month with regards to revenue streams and stuff like that. So in this new month, with the Watchalong coming up tomorrow again, download that Hot Mic app, link in the description, put in the code on the screen, and we hope to see you there tomorrow for what was a mental game between Liverpool and Newcastle. Stan Collymore, that's all I'm saying. Hope to see you with us for that one tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be starting the stream at 7:15. The game kicks off on Sky at 7:30. It'll be the first retro watch along that we've done, but as I said, the reason we're doing that and not Istanbul is because it's on the telly, which allows us to have more functionality with Hot Mic. So again, I hope to see you for that one. Justin the Wood said, love that game. As do I, mate. It's one of my all-time favourites. Keegan said, who else has been going through the photo albums? I think everybody. But it's nice. It's one of the... If there is any pluses in these situations, mate, it is that you get to reminisce, look back with family members and have some fun and some laughs and look at some stupid-ass pictures of yourself as well, particularly if you're anything like me. I've had a few awful haircuts over the years, ladies and gentlemen, and I mean awful haircuts. Casper said Timo Werner is more likely to fit Liverpool than Bayern. Dan Hunt is in. How are you, Dan? Lovely to see you, mate. Welcome in. Joanne lashing out the emojis. WFM, fuck 'em, goal, Klopp, Van Dijk, Salah, Premier League trophy, C Senor 6 times, and Craig's bald ass head. Joey said, Craig, how do I become a member? There is a join button, a blue join button, Joey, that should be where your subscribe button usually is, or there is a link in the description, buddy, below. John's put in a link as well. If you want to join up, mate, just hit that sign up button. 99p a month to become a member, or $4.99 for our ultra membership. And our members get use of all those emojis that Dave Sweeney and Joanna's just put on the screen right there now. And also you get the Anfield Agenda logo beside your name, which changes colour the longer that you're with us. So it starts out bronze, then it becomes silver, gold, and then eventually the last stage is that sexy ass red badge. But we're working on something. We're working on something because we can design one more badge as well. So Mr. Crosby will come up with something for people that stay with us for a year and stuff as well like that. So again, 99p a month, but it makes a world of difference to small little channels like us. Right, what else have we got in the chat? I was 19 at that game, said Dave Sweeney. Yeah, it was mental. I'm looking forward to it tomorrow, especially for our younger viewers who might not have been around when Liverpool played Newcastle in that game. Kevin Keegan, Newcastle manager. It's one hell of a game, and we're going to have fun doing that tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen. So, yeah, I can't wait for it. Ever had a mullet, Craig, said Dave. No, I had loads of undercuts though, Dave. I mean, look, I had a bowl head, a pudding bowl head. And I'm not even going to lie, mate. When I say pudding bowl head, I mean pudding bowl head. Right, what else is there? Craig, Gnabry or Sané? Sané for me, Reza. I mean, I think Leroy Sané is an absolutely wonderful footballer. Do you remember when he was fit before he had that serious injury? And Manchester City went through this particular phase of games where it wasn't quite working out for them at the time. The games were close. But come 65, 70 minutes, defences were starting to tire. And Pep Guardiola was able to turn to the bench and bring on Leroy Sané. And he's one player, mate, that I have to say when we played against, he terrified me. The pace that dude has is phenomenal. So, as much as Gnabry is having a very good time at Bayern Munich, I'd have to say Leroy Sané would be my favourite of the two of those guys. Right, next emoji, Lovren with the cabbage head, said Darkness. Nah, let's not waste an emoji. Let's not waste an emoji on Degsy, who's most likely going to move on. Pudding bowl head. I'm telling you, Keegan, pudding bowl head doesn't do it justice. I mean, it is... Friar Tuck is probably another good way of explaining it. Right, what else have we got? Top Council, how are you, Connor? Lovely to see you as well, mate. I hope you're keeping well. So, personally, I think Timo is around 70 to 80% done. I just remember Nabil Fekir, so there's always a chance that it won't happen. Yeah, Nabil Fekir, I think, has scarred us all, Connor, a little bit. It's... But we can't let it hurt us. We have to stay positive, mate. And I fully believe that we will see Timo Werner coming. I was saying to Terry last night, and it's a question I'd love to pose to you guys as well. I see Boya in the chat there, Morton as well, and anybody else that wants... Gabrielle, welcome to you. So, as we know, the current financial football climate is a little bit skewed. Some clubs are having to take drastic wage cuts in order to help the non-playing staff and stuff like that. But I said to Terry last night, and I want to pose this to you guys, is... Do you think that clubs who are in a more healthy financial situation right now, I'm thinking Liverpool, Manchester United, Manchester City, Bayern Munich, the clubs that have cash reserves, do you think that this transfer window will actually become an opportunity to perhaps go and, it sounds shitty, but football's a ruthless business, lean on clubs who are under a little bit more pressure and perhaps go in and get the players that they want at a little bit less? Am I being too harsh here, or is this the grim reality of the situation that we may be facing in the football world? I think it is the case, I have to say. And business can be ruthless. You know that yourself, ladies and gentlemen. But I just wonder if we are going to see a time now where perhaps either all transfer values this summer might fall a little bit because people know the clubs aren't playing with the same kind of bankroll that they have in recent years, and that the market has always been that little bit overinflated. Or are we going to see the big boys perhaps be able to flex their muscle a little bit more when it comes to transfers? I'd love to know what you think about that. My favourite game was Liverpool fan was beating Barcelona at the Champions League semi-final and then beating Spurs in the final, said Adam. Yeah, Adam, that Barcelona game, or even the two legs, because you've got to include the first leg in that story, because even though we lost it 3-0, till the day I die I'll never understand how we lost that game 3-0. Because I thought that they actually went over and put in a very, very good performance in the new camp. But we turned it around at home, mate. So it is all good. What Newcastle game are you playing? The Collymore one. I was 14 then, said Dave. Yes. And again, just a reminder, ladies and gentlemen, it's going to be on Sky Sports, Premier League and Sky Sports main event. The game starts, or the coverage starts on Sky Sports at 7:30 tomorrow. We'll be starting at 7:15 on Hot Mic and on YouTube. But for the best experience, I genuinely would urge you guys to get over the Hot Mic, because you can sync up my commentary direct to whatever point in the game you're at. So let's say, for example, you come in and you're 5 minutes late. You said, shit, I missed the start of the game. Doesn't matter. You can turn on Sky. You can click sync and it will sync up my commentary direct to the point in the game that you are at. That is the beauty of that Hot Mic app. That sync button is the sexy piece of technology, as I like to say. And I know you guys love live chat as well. There is a live chat function on Hot Mic. There's a tipping function on Hot Mic. There's a sharing function on Hot Mic. Pretty much everything that you guys get to do on YouTube is available on Hot Mic as well. And as I always say, if you have us open on Hot Mic, on your app, on your phone or on your tablet, and you want to flick through, maybe you want to go have a chat with your mate on WhatsApp, it doesn't close down like YouTube. The page won't close. It follows you around on your phone so you can flick through and do different bits and pieces at the same time. It is one of my favourite things about Hot Mic, and it's the thing that I kept forgetting to say. But most importantly about Hot Mic, there's no ads on it, so you won't get any pop-up ads or anything like that. It's free to download. It's available in the Google Play Store and the Apple App Store. It's only available on mobile devices, by the way, so your mobile phone, your iPad, your Samsung tablets, whatever it might be. Download the app. It is really important when you download the app for us. Now, this is purely selfish, to put in the sign-up code you see on the screen there right now. Anfield Agenda. All caps, all one word, no spaces, Anfield Agenda. And give us a follow on there as well. And then should go through the list and follow your other favourite broadcasters. The Anfield Rapper on there. Terry from the Football Terrace is on there. Lee Chappie is on there. I think Lee Gunner is after signing up to go on there as well. So you're going to get loads and loads and loads of your favourite YouTubers migrating over to start doing stuff on Hot Mic as well. Why am I streaming on Hot Mic tonight, said Reza. It was kind of a last minute thing, mate, to get set up, and I didn't have a chance to coordinate with the guys at Hot Mic, so just went on to YouTube only tonight. Keegan said, probably a fair shout, not a great situation, but I think the money may drop a tiny bit depending on how long this goes on for. Gabriel said, pepper Klopp and give reasons. I think it's horses for courses, Gabriel, is the phrase that I always use, mate. And I keep saying the same thing, but if I was to go into a factory and start pouring in ingredients to make up a Liverpool manager that believes in the history of the city, that knows the people, that understands what it means to be a Liverpool manager, that understands what the fans want, that plays the type of football that we love, Jurgen Klopp would be who I would come out with. I have nothing but respect for Pep Guardiola as a manager. He is a fantastic manager. But I think both managers are at the right clubs at this point in their career. I would not swap Jurgen Klopp for anybody right now, mate. Absolutely anybody. So Klopp for me, for Liverpool, but both are exquisite managers who play brands of football that is so easy on the eye to watch. And as neutrals, they're probably, if you're not a Liverpool fan or you're not a City fan, they're probably two teams that you will tune in to watch because you know you're going to get a good, entertaining style of football from both teams because of the managers. Newcastle was the year before, wasn't too bad either, 4-3 as well, said Morton. I think it might be the highest scoring fixture in the Premier League, if my memory serves me correct, Morton. Liverpool Newcastle, I think. Craig, was Gerrard with Liverpool for that game? No, I think it was before his time, Scotty. You're talking about Stan Collymore. I think Barnes was in there. I mean, I'm even struggling to remember exactly who was in the starting 11 for that game. It's been that long ago, which is why I'm looking forward to doing it tomorrow. It was a belter of a game, though. It really was. Dave Smith said, nice, amazing game that. I think we had 2 great games in 2 seasons. That's why I asked. Yeah, we did. You're spot on, mate. But what? It's been 24 years, they said, since the anniversary. So, what? That would make it 1996 is the year that we're talking about. Junkie Funky Smith said, I would have loved you and Terry to talk about this. What have we got? His Liverpool agenda going on about us every day, saying some of our fans want to play no matter what. I guess you haven't seen his videos, mate. See, here's the thing. And people often dislike people that we bring on for varying reasons, and we won't all like the same person. I'm somebody who judges and takes people as I find them, Junkie Funky Smith. And as you seen yesterday, Terry came on our channel. I thought he was a gentleman. I thought he spoke very eloquently. I thought he spoke very openly and honestly about his views. And not agreeing with people is okay. And I don't know what he says over on his own channel because I don't really watch that much YouTube. And if he's over there talking about Liverpool fans or talking down about Liverpool fans, don't watch him if you don't like what he has to say. And I don't mean that in a derogatory way. I take people as I find them. I thought he was an excellent guest to have on the show yesterday. I thoroughly enjoyed the conversation with him. But I understand that not everybody will be everyone's cup of tea. Like, as an example, if you're an Arsenal fan and you tuned in and you heard my rant the other day about the whole DT and Robbie situation wanting the league to be voided, you would probably think I'm an absolute prick who despises Arsenal. I don't despise Arsenal. I just don't understand the fascination that they have about us at the minute. So, I suppose different things from different people, mate. But I always just try to take people as I find them and as they treat me. And the two conversations that I've had with Terry on the football terrace and on here, I think he's been very fair and very open. And that's all I can say on it. I don't talk about people badly behind their back. And I've nothing bad to say about them. Everything that we spoke about yesterday, I thought was really good. It was one of my most enjoyable streams. That sounds a bit big-headed, I suppose, but I genuinely did think it was a very entertaining conversation. How am I, said Dara. I am tickety-boo, buddy, and like yourself, not only waiting for football to come back, Dara, waiting for boxing to come back. Katie Taylor's fight has been rearranged. The Usyk Chisora fight has been rearranged. The Dillian White against Povetkin fight has been rearranged. And one thing is, whenever we get back to normality, ladies and gentlemen, whenever fans can get back, we're going to have an avalanche of sport. And I mean that in a positive way. We're going to have loads and loads and loads of sport to catch up on. And it is something to hold on to, something to cling on to, and some positivity to look forward to down the line. Now, I do want to get into the whole Premier League situation. And I want to have a very frank and honest conversation about that a little bit later on in the stream. But I did promise you guys a little bit of lighthearted fun. Are you ready to see just how stupid Craig was as a child? Are you ready? You ready to see a really stupid image of Craig? Nah, you probably don't want to see it, actually. Nah, you don't want to see it. You don't want to see an embarrassing picture of Craig in Santa Ponsa on holidays when he was about 6 or 7 years of age. Nah, you guys don't want to see it, so we'll just go ahead. I enjoyed his content, Craig. I do that too. I'm like you, said Scotty. Was Rushy a substitute? I can't remember, Pablo. I can't remember. Show it here. Okay, you ready? Oh god, this is embarrassing. Are you ready? 3, 2, 1. There it is. There's me. There is a young Craig on holidays in Santa Ponsa. Yeah, full on gear. Look at that. Look at that young man. Who thought he'd grow up to be such a bald mouthy twat? Look at him. There he is, young Craig. I think it was about 6 or 7 in that picture. There's another version of that picture where I've got a hula skirt on as well, by the way. Yeah, that's that's a young me away in Santa Ponsa with me man and when I was, well, me man aren't in that picture, but yeah, that was me when I was 6 or 7, I think, something like that. It's weird, but yeah, look, it was one of the only positive things, isn't it, about going through the old family albums and stuff like that. And I might try and get a few more funny ones as well to add in over the course of the next couple of weeks, just to keep things ticking over. But yeah, there's little hula me from when I was younger. But yeah, look, hey, we all have some cheesy, shitty pictures, and I promise you, I've got some belters for my kids when they turn 18 and 21. That they're going to be embarrassed about, that they're going to be put up on big screens when they have their birthday party. So we all have them. My confirmation picture, by the way, is an absolute belter as well. I must show you that one someday. Kate said, nice Mafia shirt. Mafia? Mafia. I don't understand that part. Yeah, obviously you can tell me, man, dad, address me back that one. At least you had some hair back then, said Mickey. True, but wait till you see the one I'm going to give you guys next, mate. I mean, proper bowl head. I do have hair now. That's the thing I keep trying to tell people. I do actually have pretty much a full head of hair. I just feel dirty with hair now. Even this is me not shaving my hair for one day, and it feels like I feel dirty. It feels too long. Just checking what's happening, said Kaido. We're just talking about a few bits and pieces, mate. I'm going to talk about Jadon Shaqiri in a second as well. I want to talk about the Belgian League, and I want to talk about the rest of the Premier League, or what may happen with the Premier League as well. You look like a Hawaiian Jimmy Cranky. It's a good shout, mate. I mean, when you're right well in. Boya said he's got an awful picture of me and his best mate when he was 9 on holidays in Portugal. I think we all have them, ladies and gentlemen. I think we do. What we might do, I'll talk to Connor about this, but what we might do is, if it's okay with you guys and it's something that you wanted to do for a little bit of fun, why don't we get you guys to send us in some embarrassing pictures of yourselves when you were younger, and we'll do a slideshow on the stream one day where we can do it so as the images change every few seconds, and we can do it like, maybe we can stagger it over 3 or 4 shows. But if it's something that you guys want to do, you want to have a little bit of fun during this dark time, why not send them in to us? And we'll put your names on them as well on the images, and we'll do a slideshow. So during the stream, all the embarrassing pictures of all of you guys from all around the world will go through. If that's something that you want to do, of course. I think it'll be a little bit of fun, and it's something that just popped into my head right now. So there you go. Pep and money equals trophy, said Gabriel. Klopp and hard work equals brilliant football and trophies. Yeah, look, if it's something that you guys want to do, let me just chat to Connor about it, and then we'll get you guys to just email the images through to us if you want to. And look, if you do ever want to get in contact with us when we're not on air and you're not a member of the channel, because members of the channel, well, the ultra members are in our Discord group, so they can talk to us offline as well. But we do have a couple of email addresses if you want to get us. The best one, I suppose, is just contact@AnfieldAgenda.com, or you can get us at AnfieldAgenda@gmail.com or AnfieldAgenda@outlook.com. But the easiest one is just contact@AnfieldAgenda.com, because we do actually have a website, believe it or not. We just don't do anything with it, but we have an email address that's linked to it. So yeah, any of those email addresses you'll be able to catch us on if you want to just get in contact, if there's anything you want to share. I've received some lovely emails recently about people giving some information about what might happen with the leagues. Some people just sharing some funny stories as well, and I always do read them and try and reply to as many people as I can. So again, thank you, ladies and gents, for all that love and support. Right, a little bit of housekeeping. As I said to you the other day, we're going to try our best to get through the rest of the season and keep the channel going. We've said that to you guys the other day. Even if it ends up myself and Connor having to put our own hands in our own pockets to keep the channel going, we understand right now it's important that people have the outlet. So we're going to go and we're going to keep pushing. But if you do want to help us out and you don't want to put your hand in your pocket, then I'm going to switch it back around and show you this hot mic image again. Because if you download that app and you put in the code Anfield Agenda and follow us on there, you can buy me 6 cans of Diet Coke without having to put your hand in your pocket. You can buy Connor 2 packets of Kyo's without having to put your hand in your pocket. You can help us towards buying another microphone or another ring light without having to put your hand in your pocket. The app is free. It's free to download. But by just downloading and putting in the code, you're helping us without having to put your hand in your pocket, and the channel will go on to survive. Because I'll give you guys an example, and I said this to Terry the other night. We got 131 or 133,000 viewers for the Liverpool versus Atletico Madrid game. And I'm not sure how or why this happened, but we were going through a period with YouTube where they were randomly demonetizing some of our streams, and I don't know why. For that game, we made $7 in ad revenue. $7 from 131,000 views. So there you go. That just goes to show you that there isn't the money in YouTube that some people think, particularly when you make live content that we do. The CPM, which is kind of the figure that's used for how much money you get per 1,000 or 10,000 views, is lower for channels that put out live content. So again, you can help us out by just putting in that code, downloading that app, and going over there and download Hot Mic, Diet Chav for a good cause. There you go, Keegan Murphy. Right, let's talk about Jadon Shaqiri, ladies and gentlemen, shall we? So I said to you guys all along that I believe Shaqiri is going to move on this summer. I went as far as to say that he had been linked with a move to Sevilla as well. But I've read something today. It's from Calcio Mercado, and they believe that the Reds are willing to lower their asking price for Jadon Shaqiri from what was around somewhere between 20 to 25 million right down to 16 to 18 million pound. And they also go on to say that he's been linked with moves to Sevilla, to Roma and to Galatasaray. Now, what value would you guys put on Shaqiri? I know that we got him at a knockdown fee, but that's because of the clause, the relegation clause that was in his Stoke City contract. So what figure do you think would be fair for Liverpool to look for if indeed Jadon Shaqiri was to move on this summer, which in my humble opinion I believe he will? I'd love to know what type of figure you think is correct. Would you agree with Calcio Mercado? Would you agree with 18 million, 25 million, 20 million. Gaming Guy reckons 30 million. Darkness thinks 20 to 25 million. John Hamilton reckons 20 to 25. Keegan thinks the 16 to 18 will be about fair. John said, fuck, that's way too low with regards to the YouTube thing. Mate, as I've said to you, we have made more money in 2 months on Hot Mic than we probably have in the 22 months that we've been on YouTube. And that's no word of a lie. Right, what else is there? 21 million is about what Logan thinks he's worth. Gabriel thinks, 25 to 30 million. The man has it all. You see, I don't get it, Gabriel. I don't get the love for Shaqiri that much. Does he have ability? For sure, without a shadow of a doubt. The man can cross the ball, the man can take a set piece, but apart from the injury record, I just don't know if he has the consistency to make it at our club anyway. I mean, maybe the likes of Sevilla or Roma, he could be very, very, very good. I just don't know for us, mate. I think it was definitely worth the risk when we bought him. The price was, I mean, it was almost an easy purchase, wasn't it? And by easy, I don't mean sorry. By easy, I mean like a no-brainer. It was worth rolling the dice and taking a risk. What else is there? Oh, John was talking about the fee for Shaqiri. Excuse me, mate. You think it's low? I think around the 20 million mark myself is probably fair. I mean, we've heard 25 to 30, but I thought realistically with the climate that we're in, the 20 mark is to me something that sounds reasonable enough. Dave Smith said Matteo, McManaman, Stiging, Bjornby, Fowler, Collymore, McAteer and a few others were in the lineup against Newcastle. Nice. I'm looking forward to that tomorrow, Dave. And Dave reckons 15 to 18 million for Shaqiri. Pablo thinks 25 million. Anthony said, Craig, it sounds like YouTube are ripping you off on Hot Mic. It's fabulous. Look, I won't belittle YouTube by saying that they're ripping us off, mate. No, I don't think there's anything underhanded going on. I would never accuse anybody of that. I just was trying to portray how much more helpful it can be to us for people to go across and give Hot Mic a try. I wasn't trying to belittle YouTube. I mean, YouTube has given me this platform and YouTube has given me the ability to be on here and talk to you people each and every night, and that means the world to me. It really, really does. So regardless of anything else, YouTube will always have a good place in my heart for that because, hey, it's brought us all together, hasn't it? Love the super sticker, Red for Life, mate. Thank you. I love that little dude. I honestly, between that dude and this little Fisty Fuck is my nickname for him, by the way. I do love him. I wish I designed that little fella. Dugout thinks nothing under 17 to 22 million for him for Sheridan Shaqiri. At least 20 million for Tom Boland. And Tom, by the way, I hope life is okay for you, my friend. Lovely to see you in the chat. Liz reckons 16 million and a Klopp hug. How old is Shaqiri, asked Dara. I think he's 27, 28, if my memory serves me correct, Dara. Brian's put in that he thinks he's around 27 as well. Yeah, I think he's in and around that. 27, 28, somewhere like that. Leon Disley reckons 18 to 20 million will be more than fair. And Jack thinks, imagine the front three of Dembele on the left, Werner as a striker, Harvey Elliott on the right wing. I kept forgetting about Harvey Elliott. In recent days, I've been talking about the future of Raheem Brewster. I've been talking about Curtis Jones. I've been talking about Takumi Minamino. I've been talking about Sepp Vandenberg, Kiana Hoover, Marco Grujic. But how has my dumbass kept forgetting about Harvey Elliott? That's a conversation point that I want to have now, actually, on its own. What do you think the future holds for Harvey Elliott next season, ladies and gentlemen? Do you think Harvey Elliott will go out on loan? Or do you think Harvey Elliott will get a chance to prove himself at the first team? And I do apologise for having forgotten about even talking about the dude, because he's an undoubted talent and one that I was so happy that Liverpool got from Fulham when we got him in. So what do you guys think that the next 12 months holds for Harvey Elliott? Do you think that he will go out on loan somewhere, or do you think that he'll stay at the club? And again, thanks for bringing it up, mate, because how it slipped my mind I don't know, but it was definitely something I should have been talking about. Boya said 18 million for Shaqiri and 25 for Wilson, and I don't disagree with either of those figures. Anthony, I think they're pretty much spot on. Shaqiri's 28 as well. Thank you for that, Doug. Dave Smith, I definitely knew it was a Roy Evans teammate, because I remember the image of Keegan kind of head down in his arm like this at the end of the game, or when one of the last goals went in, shall we say. Kate says, lower than 20 million, I'd rather keep Shaqiri as an off-the-bench player. Sometimes, though, Kate, it's not just a matter of the club's point of view. I mean, if Jurgen Klopp, and I don't know this for a fact, but let's say that Jurgen Klopp and Jadon Shaqiri shat. They definitely didn't shit. They sat down and had a conversation, and it was a frank and honest conversation. And Shaqiri said, look, Gaffer, I want more time. And Klopp said, look, I love having you as an option, mate. I cannot guarantee you that you're going to play 20, 25, 30 games a season, but you're a useful addition to the squad. We love having you around. And he said, Gaffer, I'm getting to the latter part of my career. I want to play more regularly. I never, ever would begrudge a player wanting to play football, because inherently their careers are short. And he'll want to play as much football as possible. So I get where you're coming from, but sometimes this is just a genuine, honest conversation between the manager and one of his players. I think he had a similar conversation with Kleiny a while back. How much did we buy Shaqiri for? Something between 12 and 13.5 million. I can't remember the exact fee. I've heard varying numbers, but let's say 13 million. It was somewhere in and around that. Leon Warburton said, I think we should keep Wilson. He'll be sick. By obviously sick, you mean class. I don't know. I'm on the fence. I mean, what is he 23 years of age? Or is he younger than that? I think Wilson is 23 years of age. And I don't think he's improved enough at 23 years of age, or shown enough this season at Bournemouth to justify getting into a Liverpool team on a regular basis, Leon. I mean, he should be tearing it up there to try and force his way into this Liverpool team. I would expect him to be by far and away the best player at Bournemouth, if he is to have any chance to be coming into this Liverpool team and trying to force his way in and getting a spot. But then again, look, that's just my opinion, mate, and my opinion doesn't matter. It's only Jurgen Norbert Klopp's opinion that matters. How's the audio tonight, by the way, ladies and gentlemen? As I said, I have brought the microphone, as you can see it right here, a little bit closer to my mouth, so I just wanted a quick check. Is it any crisper than normal, or is it too loud, or I don't know, just want some feedback if that's possible. Doug said it was 12.5 million for Shaqiri. Won't need Shaqiri if we get Coutinho, said Boy. Yeah, we spoke about this last night. There was something, was it the Leicester Mercury, Anthony, am I right in saying that suggested that Leicester City are interested in bringing Felipe Coutinho to the King Power. I don't know how you'd afford the 250 grand a week wages, Boy. I mean, you could probably afford the loan fee of 8 million for sure, but if you were to buy him, would he really take that much of a knockdown in wages? I mean, I don't know what the highest earning player is at Leicester City, mate, so again, if you have that information or a rough idea, I'd love to know. Kate said he was 23 last week. Thank you, Kate. Sound is all good. Sound is fine. Normal, said Kate. The audio's quality, said Casper. Good. Thank you. I just didn't like having the microphone in shot, because I felt maybe it was a bit distracting for people or whatever. But while we're not doing watch-alongs, I'm going to start keeping the microphone in front of me, because I think, you know, if we can get a crisper sound, then why not? Right, ladies and gentlemen, there was a bit of news from Belgium today. I don't know if you may or may not have seen it, but the Belgian league is set to be cancelled due to, you know what, I'm not even going to say for fear of being demonetised. But the way that they're going to work it is that the current league standings will count as the finalised table. And this, I suppose, brings me round to the conversation that I wanted to have with you guys about what might happen with the Premier League. So, as things stand right now, Simon Mignolet will have just won the league with Bruges over in Belgium. And the way that they're going to do it is, right, the league is over. It is what it is. Wherever you are now is where we're at. Now, I'm not saying that that's what's going to happen in the Premier League or in the Championship or in League 1 or League 2 or whatever the case may be. But there are ongoing conversations here. And I have to say, the more this goes on, the more I'm getting nervous. I wonder what might happen here. So Terry suggested something last night that may be a possibility, like the Duckworth-Lewis method. Now, if you guys aren't a cricket fan, and I am a cricket fan, the Duckworth-Lewis method is a way of working out kind of an average points thing that you would have gotten per game, add them all together and then figure out a points total at the end. But I suppose the main point that I want to ask you guys is, there are a few options in the Premier League right now. They can carry on and see how the world develops right now, and try and finish it in this beautiful, magnificent, mega football event that we've heard over 4 to 6 weeks, where clubs are quarantined in separate hotels, and they get regular health checks. There are multiple games played a day. They're going to be all broadcast, and we get this beautiful feast of football, and the season gets to end. That's option. Let's call that option number 1 right now, and that's the one that I think we'd all love to see. Option number 2 could be a situation that I've just spoken about, like the Belgian league, where they say, right, we're drawing the line under it. The league is finished, and everybody finishes where they are right now. I don't think that that's a likely thing to happen. And then there's option number 3, where they say we're going to null and void the league, and we're going to wipe the record books clean. That for me is the one that is fraught with more legal challenges and more headaches than any other one. Right through from the worries about relegation, Liverpool winning the league from a selfish basis, of course. Who gets into the Champions League in the following season? Will players' goals be just stricken off the record? So if somebody's after putting in a marvellous campaign, banging a load of goals, are they just wiped off the record? Are all the goal scoring bonuses owed back to the clubs? What happens with season tickets? Do you get a full refund on your season tickets? What happens with all the television right money? What happens with bonuses? What happens with the VAT that they've paid to governments and the tax and all of this stuff that we probably don't think about? So I want to know what you guys, at this point in time, realistically think the most likely option is. Now, none of us are experts. We're all just fans, and that's what we're here to do, is share opinions. None of us claim to have the answers or to know what's going to happen, because the Premier League and other leagues around Europe and UEFA and FIFA, they all have different models that they're looking at right now for different time frames. But at some point, a decision will have to be made. And I just wonder how you're all feeling right now and what you think is the most likely thing to happen. And don't be afraid if you think it's going to be null and void. Put it in the chat. It's a conversation. No one's going to have a go at you. Kate said, rather that than void it. Craig, can you call this the Big C? I don't even want to give it a name, mate, because giving it a name gives it more power, and I don't want it to have any more power over us than it already has, Henry, because, yeah, we're all fed up to the teeth of hearing about it. So this is a bit of light relief, if possible. Right, what have we got? Thomas Smith said, we'll have to be settled as opposed to being abandoned, so any solution will result in us winning the league. Keegan said, if they let us play City and we win, done dinners, at least for winning the league. Dave Sweeney said, nobody watches the Belgian league. Perhaps not, Dave, but they do still have the same Champions League, Europa League, relegation headaches that, you know, everybody else would have. Boya said if that happens, does Vardy loses his 100 goal tally that he's reached? And there are loads of little things like that, Anthony, that I suppose none of us know the answer to. Keegan Murphy said it's got to finish. John Hamilton said, for example, how many times were City beaten in both games by a team they would be expected to beat? True, if you're talking about the kind of Duckworth-Lewis type method. 1,400 subscribers on Hot Mic. Congratulations, said Joey. Thank you. Really appreciate that, ladies and gentlemen. And again, we will be doing the game tomorrow against Newcastle on Hot Mic as well as on YouTube. So please, please, please do download that Hot Mic app. Hot Mic, Google Play Store, Apple App Store. Put in the code as you see it on the screen. Anfield Agenda, all capital letters, all one word, and that will really help us out. And then you'll get our commentary tomorrow as well. Ken Coastal Holiday Let's, aka Carl and Julie, how are you guys? Thank you so much for the little super sticker, dude. Celebrating a bit of a party, sure, why not? Bit of fun, nothing wrong with it. Mark Hendley said, I think it will be cancelled and will be given the league. What else is there? They need to finish the league no matter what, but it needs to be done when it's safe to do so, said Connor from the Cop Council. Neil Anthony said, it's way too early to void it. By the start of May, we'll be in a position to possibly loosen the restrictions on the lockdown. Pablo said, Craig, we should finish the season now like Belgium, but nobody should get relegated, so 22 teams in the Premier League next season. Again, mate, that is something that has been spoken about, so 5 teams to get relegated in the following season, as you've said, but this also does lead into a little bit of a headache, mate, because what happens to the likes of Fulham, who have invested heavily in keeping the likes of Alexander Mitrovic? What happens to clubs like Preston North End, who are up there fighting to get up into the Premier League? So it's a little bit too simplistic to even just say that, mate, although it is a nice theory and one that has definitely been mentioned, but again, it will be something that will be fraught with legal challenges. It's such a tricky one, isn't it? What else is it? Kate said, add Hot Mic, use the code Anfield Agenda. It's free. It is. It's free to use, free to download, and no ads as well, as I said. Douglas, thank you for the super sticker, buddy. Fist pump, first one of the night. Little dude. Yeah, I love that fella. Brian said, that's not how it's worked out, though, mate. I haven't got a clue how the Duckworth-Lewis system works, as I said. I kind of understand the theory of it very broadly, but I don't understand the intricacies of it. It's a crazy mathematical equation that is way above my pay grade. Casper said, start the games in June and play behind closed doors. That's the most likely thing to happen, Casper, i.e. playing behind closed doors. But as Anthony pointed out when we had him on, as Terry pointed out, and as Connor has pointed out as well, even games played behind closed doors still have a crew and a group of people, I think somewhere between 150 and 300 between the players, the officials, the camera crews, the medical staff. And what you can't do as well is put more pressure on the NHS and stuff, because there needs to be an ambulance and medical staff at every single game. So, there is that to take into account as well. Dave Smith said, we need to finish, we have to win the league. I don't want United and City saying we were given the Premier League. That's my big fear as well, Dave. I mean, I don't want us to have an asterisk beside us getting the Premier League. I think there would be probably a consensus among a lot of clubs that Liverpool deserve the league, and there probably would be no hard feelings if Liverpool were given the league. But we want it to be won. We want it to have no cheap shots being able to be taken at us by opposition fans. Look, any right-minded football fan knows damn well that Liverpool are going to win the league. That Liverpool were by far and away the best team this season. We're 25 points clear as things stand. Yes, City I think have 1 or 2 games in hand. They could reduce that a little bit, but it was going to be Liverpool's title. But I don't know how I would feel if it got to the point where they just decided that they're finishing up and will give Liverpool the title because it was pretty clear that they were going to win it. I really don't know how I feel about it. I don't. Rahul said, Craig, is Hot Mic free? It is, mate. It's absolutely free. The app is free to download. It's free for you to use. There's no ads. There's no pop-ups in it. There's nobody trying to sell you shit in it. It's a beautiful piece of kit that will allow you to sync up my commentary directly in line with how you're watching the game on your television tomorrow, mate. Just download it and have a play around with it. Have a look at that sync button as well. It's class. I love it. It's a great piece of kit. And we're going to try and do more of these as well, by the way, with regards to the watch-along. So we were supposed to do Istanbul tomorrow, but the Newcastle game kind of fell in our lap. And there's something that the guys at Hot Mic recommended to me, and I wanted to run it past you guys. So Match of the Day are doing some retro Match of the Days as well. And I wanted to know, is there an appetite from you guys for us to do watch-alongs of those retro Match of the Days? Is it something that you guys are watching at home anyway, as football fans on a Saturday night? Because it's easy for us to do if it's something you want us to do. I want to give you guys an outlet to get your football fix, or to get your bit of interaction, or whatever it might be through this period until we get back playing football. So the guys at Hot Mic came to me and said, Craig, would you be interested in doing watch-alongs of the retro Match of the Days? And I said it's something that I would ask both Connor, of course, and you guys in the chat, because it's easy for us to do. The technology is all there. That is the beauty of Hot Mic. It is that's what the app was made for. So if you guys are going to be watching it, you want us to do it, hey, it's your channel, as we always say, ladies and gentlemen. Alara said, I wanted to see the 103 points. Yeah, I'm not going to lie, Alara. I'm with you on that one, my friend. I definitely wanted Liverpool to break the 100-point barrier and to go down as the team that has amassed the most points in any Premier League season in history. Thomas said, Duckworth-Lewis is a way of calculating the required score for teams chasing, so we still win. Yes, exactly. So let's say, as an example with Duckworth-Lewis, if it's a 50 over game, and let's say England are playing Ireland. England have played their 50 overs. Ireland have played, I don't know, let's say 27 overs and it starts pissing down rain, I think they can use the Duckworth-Lewis method to figure out, you know, on a pro rata basis or whatever, if Ireland would have caught up and won, yada yada yada. But Thomas has described it better than me there anyway. Look, I don't know how many people are watching the stream now, but how am I going to phrase this? Oh, this is so difficult to say. And there's a reason why we've never pitched merch, and there's a reason why we've never tried to sell shit to people on our channel. It's because we don't feel right about it. It feels to us a little bit greasy, because we understand that everybody's financial situation is completely different. And right now, the way the world is, a lot of people on furlough from work as well and stuff like that. And a lot of people are just trying to get by day. And we've been approached by lots of companies. We've been approached by betting companies to do stuff. We've been approached by companies that have offered us money to try and come on and sell stuff to you guys. And it's not something we've ever felt comfortable with, because we've always said we don't want to put up any barriers between what we do and people from a financial perspective, because it just doesn't sit well with me as a human being. I believe that all football fan content should be free for everybody. Now, the membership thing is cool, and the membership thing does cost money, but it doesn't stop other people from being able to see the same content. But the thing about Hot Mic is, Hot Mic can be the difference between Anfield Agenda existing next season and Anfield Agenda not existing next season. And the reason that I'm pushing it so hard to you guys and trying to get it across how important it is it's free. It's free, and it's like each one of you guys putting your hand in your pocket and handing us a £5. That's roughly what we're talking about here. And all you have to do is download the app, put in that code, and then follow us on there. And like that, you are helping. You're helping me to be able to do something that I love, night in and night out, and you're helping other people as well. And it's free. And that's the most important thing. I wouldn't be asking you guys to do this if when you download that app it was going to try and start pitching you something or selling you something, or it was a piece of shit app. It isn't. It is something that I think in a year, 18 months time, will be the go-to for all fan broadcasting when it comes to sports events. There's basketball on there. People cover WWE on there. Obviously, people like ourselves, Terry, the Anfield Rap, we all do football games on there as well. But it is basically an app that allows us to broadcast our commentary over matches, games, whatever sport it might be. But I don't want this channel to disappear. I really don't want it to happen. And I also don't want people to put their hand in their pockets, because I've been on my arse so many times financially that I understand what it's like. We all live, most of us live week to week, paycheck to paycheck. But this is free. And if you do enjoy the channel and you do want to help us keep going, just please download that app and put in the code. I know so many of you guys have done it already, and that means the world to us. But this could be the difference between Anfield Agenda being here in 3 years with 150,000 subs on YouTube, or Anfield Agenda not existing in a couple of years' time. So if you can, if you've got the time, just download the app and give it a bash. Right, Luke Jackson, welcome to Anfield Agenda Ultras, buddy. Welcome to the Discord group as well, mate. Don't be shy about making yourself known in there. What else is there? I wanted to say to you guys as well, thank you. Yeah, thank you was what I wanted to say. I often get emails from people to say thank you to us for, you know, the interactions that we do on a nightly basis and stuff. But I've said to you guys many times before, there's been times, particularly recently, where I've been really struggling, and I've come on here and within 5 minutes of jumping into the chat and having a bit of crack with you guys, my mood's lifted. So this community that we've built, I'm so scared of it not existing, because it means so much to me, that I'm sorry if I'm annoying the shit out of you about Hot Mic. I genuinely am sorry. But I don't want us to lose our community, because too many of you people are too... I think of this as having 37,400 mates at this point. So yeah, I don't want it. I don't want it to stop. Basically, even if we never gain another subscriber, I just want us to be here, and I want us to be alive, and I want us to be, doing what we do and having fun. Right, old boxing matches would be crisp on Hot Mic. That's a good show, Keegan. The problem is, one of the things about Hot Mic is it has to be on television. So anything that's being shown on television can be done on Hot Mic. That's the way that they're set up. So let's say ESPN were showing an old boxing fight, Keegan. We can absolutely cover that 100%. So if you guys have any suggestions of stuff that you've seen on television that you'd like us to cover, we're all ears. Give us an email, AnfieldAgenda@outlook.com, contact@AnfieldAgenda.com. Hit us up on Instagram, hit us up on Twitter. Give us your suggestions of old stuff, old games, sporting events, but they have to be on television somewhere. That is the thing. So again, it's your channel, ladies and gentlemen. Whatever you guys would like to be entertained with, or whatever you guys would like to watch, we're all ears, and we're happy to do it because we want us all to keep together during this particularly fucked up time that we're in now. I want a baldy hoodie, said Kay. I've no idea. I'd say if we are ever to release merch down the line, ever, I think the first thing would likely be a WFM hoodie or t-shirt, because WFM is our little motto, and it means the world to us, and you guys invented it, and we kind of ran with it, and it's something that, it's like an inside joke in the channel. People that come in for the first time that don't, to see WFM everywhere and go, what does it mean? What's this WFM thing? And it's like our own little inside joke, isn't it? And it's lovely. So yeah, the thoughts of maybe a t-shirt or a hoodie at some point down the line, you never know. We'll wait and see, but it's not now. Now is not the right time to be doing it. The most important thing for us now is to make sure that we're all on here communicating and interacting with each other, because it is World Autism Month. Today's World Autism Day. I know that there are some people in the chat who are on the spectrum, and I've, of course, respect everybody's privacy and will not name any names. As you guys know, I'm an Aspie myself. Sorry, that's shorthanded. People that know that means I've Asperger's. My son is autistic. He's on the autism spectrum as well. And some of the times my bluntness comes from that, which I never shy away from. I mean, I never hold back from anything. I own everything that I say. But yeah, so in this particular month as well, just if you have 5 minutes, just have a little read up on autism. Maybe try and educate yourself on it. I mean, how many times have we all seen kids in the store when we were, throwing little tantrums and just thought to ourselves, that lad's a brat, or that little lady's a brat. And I've done that many, many, many times before autism became part of my life, and before my son came into this world. And when I started to understand and educate myself on autism and how wide and varied the autism spectrum is, I started to look at these situations a little bit differently and think, well, you know what, maybe that child's having a sensory issue at that moment in time. Or maybe that child is scared or frightened at that moment in time. And, I'm not going to lie about it. If it didn't affect my son's life, I probably wouldn't have taken the time to educate myself as much as I have on it. So, yeah, if you do have any spare time, would it be the month that it is, ladies and gentlemen, check it, have a Google of autism. There are many great sites out there giving you lots of great information on it. Right, what have we got? Jack said, if you reach 40k by the end of the season, we need a picture of Craig with hair. I'll show you one. Next time we do a stream, mate, not tomorrow's game, but for the next late night agenda, I'll show you another stupid picture of me with hair. Full on pudding bowl head, I promise you. So, a few people are saying fellow Aspie. Joanne saying fellow Aspie here. Doug saying fellow Aspie as well. And of course, I do these things, but it's not my place to say so. Why don't you want to release merch? People want to buy it rather than it coming across as you pushing it on people, said Luke. I'm weird, Luke. I'm just weird like that, mate. I don't think highly enough of myself or of our channel to think that people would ever want to buy it. That's the thing. Like, you've often heard me say phrases like, I don't know why people tune in. I don't know why people watch. I don't say it for the laugh. I say it because I'm genuinely baffled. Like, I don't understand why people give a shit about what I have to say. I don't understand why people tune into our watch-alongs. I appreciate it. I've tried to understand it, but I never have. So, for me to start thinking about selling merch, I would just feel like I'm up my own arse and I'm pig-headed and I'm getting ahead of myself. And yeah, that may not make any sense, but hey. So, Done It Get In says, what does WFM mean? Who wants to let him know? Or her. I'm not sure if it's a lad or a lady. Who wants to let Done It Get In know what WFM means? What is our channel motto, ladies and gentlemen? Who wants to let him know? I'll leave it to you guys. So read the comments, mate, because I'm sure they're going to let you know pretty soon what WFM means. Joanne's already put it in the chat there as well, I can see. It means we're fucking massive. And it doesn't mean the channel, mate. It just means us as a collective community. Together, we're stronger than we will ever be as individuals. And we're fucking massive. And there's nobody going to stop us. That's what it means. Dave Smith said his 6-year-old son has autism. I hope he's doing well, buddy. As parents of kids with autism, Dave, I suppose all we can do is try to make the world as happy, as fun-filled, and as less scary an environment as we possibly can. But I wish your 6-year-old every success, mate, and lots of love from my family to yours. Scotty as well. Scotty, a fellow Aspie. How are you, my friend? Michael McMahon said, I want to see a 21-year-old Craig. If you see the 21-year-old Craig, you would see a 20-stone Craig, Michael McMahon. At one point, I weighed just over 20 stone, and I lost 104 pound, and I got down to about 12 stone 2, 12 stone 3, and now I'm back up to around the 15 stone mark. Still overweight, but still, maybe a bit over 15 stone actually, but still overweight, but a lot less than I used to be, man. So yeah, I gave up smoking, and my amazing wife gave up smoking at the same time as well to help me out, and I lost 104 pound, believe it or not. So yeah, you don't want to see a 21-year-old Craig, because you'd be seeing an even fatter ass Craig. Thomas said, Craig, that feeling you have, it's natural to be surprised and embarrassed when you're aware of people's admiration, but you can overcome that and move into greatness, I promise you. The thing is, buddy, that's one of my fears, is I never want to feel like I'm anything other than a fan, because that's all I am. I've no more or less right than anybody else to share an opinion. I mean, yes, I've got the microphone in front of me, and that, I suppose, is a bit different to being able to write in the chat, but I don't think that my opinion holds any more or less weight than anybody else's. Kay Hannah, welcome to Anfield Agenda FC, buddy. Thank you very much. Welcome to the family. Lovely to see you with us. And what's going to be your first emoji use? I'm interested to see. Whenever anybody signs up to become a member, I always wait to see what the first emoji that they use is. Carl, good night to you and Julie, mate. And again, I know you're out there on the front line working, mate. And love to you both, and stay safe. What shirt do I have on? It is the Kansas City shirt, mate. Kansas City. Is it Kansas City? It is Kansas City, isn't it, today? Sporting Kansas, sorry, yes. It's one of the MLS shirts I bought when I was over in America. What was a bigger comeback? AC Milan in 2005 or Barcelona in 2019? See, I would go Barcelona, Gabriel, and here's the reason. I mean, AC Milan 2005 was amazing. Istanbul, it's called the Miracle of Istanbul for a reason. And the starting 11 that we had no right to beat the starting 11 of that AC Milan team. But we won it on penalties. So, to have lost 3-0 at the Nou Camp to Barcelona, and to not have Roberto Firmino, to not have Mohamed Salah, and to lose Andy Robertson as early as we did in that game, to know that conceding one goal at home meant that we were pretty much fucked against Barcelona. I think that 4-0 game is the greatest comeback that I have witnessed in football from a Liverpool team. And as much as I love Istanbul, and it will always hold a very fond place in my heart, I have to say the Barcelona game, mate, because we did it in 90 minutes against the greatest player that's ever played the game, against two players that left us to go to that club to try and win things that pastors knew. We did it without two of our own best players. We did it with the weight of the world against us, and we did what nobody expected us to do, and it was fucking magnificent, pal. Magnificent. When you played football, did I ever score any goal? Yeah. So I played as a goalkeeper almost my entire life, but what used to happen was I used to play as a goalkeeper for my team, and then I played as a left winger for the team a year above me, because my team used to play on a Saturday and that age group used to play on a Sunday. So I used to play in goal for my team, PJ, and then I used to go and play left wing for the team a year older than me. What else is there? Sorry, I'm just trying to figure. Kate's trying to figure out about the emojis. It's a question that loads of people have, and you know what? I never know the answer to it because I don't have the emojis that you guys have. I don't have access to them here because I'm not a member. Funnily enough, Stephen Booker said AC Milan 2005 did it in 45 minutes. I think we did it in 8 minutes, technically, Stephen, if my memory serves me correct. Brian said we only had 45 minutes in Istanbul. Kind of, sort of not true. We had 45 and then 30 and then penalties. Jack said Istanbul was arguably against the greatest team to ever play the game. I mean, that AC Milan team, man, was just beyond ridiculous if you look at the lineup that they had. What else is there? Sadio Mane, I like it, said PJ lad. Sorry, I'm trying to figure out a comment Joanne meant there. By the way, look, if you're enjoying the stream, ladies and gentlemen, by all means, please do hit the subscribe button on YouTube as well and give the stream a thumbs up. Gonna go on for 10 more minutes before we call it a night, but just a reminder, tomorrow will be an early one because that game starts on Sky at 7:30, so we're going to be going live on Hot Mic and on YouTube as well. But if you really want the benefit of the game and you want to help us out, as I've said, you know what to do. You're sick of me saying it by now. Hot Mic, use that code. Bing bang bosh. But don't forget to turn your notifications on. And if you are signed up to us and follow us on Hot Mic as well, just like on YouTube, you will get a notification. Although the difference is with Hot Mic, you'll definitely fucking get a notification, whereas YouTube seems to be a little bit hit and miss with regards to the old notifications. Although I think that's a problem that's, you know, widespread across it. It's not just something that's aimed at us. Brian will go for Istanbul for pure drama alone. I think I had one more topic on my notes, or maybe I've gone through it already. No, I've actually gone through it. Anybody else seen any interesting transfer rumours that they wanted to bring up or have a chat about? Because I know I've probably missed a load of stuff because I haven't had much free time recently to be going through all the newspapers and the websites to see what's about. So if you've any transfer stories that you've seen you want to have a chat about, please do put it in. Casper said, Craig, do you miss Twitter? So for those of you that don't know, I used to run the Anfield Agenda Twitter account. It was actually my own personal Twitter account before it became the Anfield Agenda one. And I think we've got about 35,000 followers on Twitter, something like that. And I used to love it. Do I miss it? Yes and no. I don't miss a lot of the negativity that was on there. And by negativity, Casper, I don't mean towards me. I just mean in general, it can be a rather toxic environment at times. But you also see some wonderful things on there as well. So, do I miss it? Yes and no. I've more time to be able to do this, which is a benefit. And I probably will get to a point where I'm going to start making some smaller, shorter videos for Twitter and for Instagram because Connor his workload is unbelievable. I mean, Connor does all the artwork for what we do. Connor runs the Instagram account. He runs the Twitter account. He makes sure that the tech is done for what we're doing. And as of right now, he's trying to finish his degree as well, which finishes up in a few weeks. So, if we get through this season, as I keep saying, it is a big if, but we're going to keep fighting to try and do it as a channel, then there's a lot more to come from us. That much I promise you. Rio or Van Dijk, Mane versus Ryan Giggs, Trent or Gary Neville. Right, let's go through them one by one. Rio or Van Dijk? Van Dijk, but it is the closest competition to Van Dijk, Gabriel, that I think I could possibly imagine. I actually got to see Rio Ferdinand playing live. I said this before. Some of my family are United fans, and they dragged me over to a League Cup game against Blackburn, and it was many, many, many years ago. I can't even remember what year it was, at Old Trafford, and I was mesmerised by quite how good Rio Ferdinand was. Yeah, so I mean, I will say Van Dijk, but Rio Ferdinand as a footballer was an exemplary centre back, one of the best to play the game in England for sure. Mane versus Ryan Giggs. I think I would have to say Giggs because he's done it on a longer, more consistent basis. I think Sadio on a one-off basis is a better player than Ryan Giggs. I mean, if you gave me Sadio Mane and Ryan Giggs and both of them were playing at 100%, I think you would get more from Sadio Mane. But Sadio still has more to go in his career, and Ryan Giggs had an unbelievable career at a very high level for quite a long time. So I probably nudged towards Giggs in that one, if I'm being honest. But I'd love to revisit that when Sadio's career finishes. And Trent or Gary Neville, it's Trent by a country mile, mate. I mean, and he hasn't even got going yet with his career, like, and it's Trent. Jack said Adama Traore is apparently seen as a Mana and Salah replacement. I seen that actually, Jack. I don't believe it. I don't believe it for varying reasons, but there was definitely an article about it for sure, mate. I think it's just lazy journalism, or an easy piece to put together. Let me ask another question before I finish up. Does anybody think we're going to lose a big player this summer? I say this summer, let's say in this transfer window. And if so, who do you think it is that we might lose? I know it's a tricky question to ask and it's not a nice one, but I would just love to genuinely know, because I've given you guys my answer on this numerous times, but I'd like to know how you feel. Right, Stephen Booker said, yes, Craig, Vinicius Jr. for Mane and cash swap deal will be a load of bollocks, but we tried to sign him 2 seasons ago. I think Klopp even mentioned that once, Stephen. I think he mentioned it once. Craig, what do you make of the leaked away top? I sent it in the Discord group. I'll have a look at it right now, Scotty, mate. 1 second. Where is it? I can't see it in the Discord group yet, Scotty. I can't see it, mate. Sorry. I don't know if it's just not updated on my end or not, but I can't see it. And we did have the green shirt that we spoke about, if that's the one that you're talking about. And I don't really like it too much, the teal one. But I can't see anything in the Discord group, mate. Unless you sent it to me as a private message, did you? On Discord? No. Sorry, mate, I can't see it in Discord. Right, what else have we got? Sadio Mane for left wing. Fowler or Kane? Fowler, for me, he's my favourite Liverpool player. Who's Ryan Giggs? He's somebody who's very proficient in yoga, Brian. Believe he manages Wales these days. What have we got? Fondness for his brother's missus as well, I believe. I'm scared of losing Genie, said Adam Whitehead. I think Genie Reality will sign a new deal. I really, really do. I think it's just a matter of how many years on that contract that might be the sticking point. It won't be money and it won't be ambition. And I think he will sign a new deal. And I hope he signs a new deal. Luca said Gomez. Wow, why do you think we'll lose Gomez? I mean, he's one of the best up-and-coming centre-backs in the league. I don't see any reason for Gomez to go. Especially when, he is Klopp's preferred partner for Virgil van Dijk. Kate said Lallana. Well, yes, he's gone for sure. His contract's up. He's going to be a free agent. Scotty said, I think we might see Lover and Shaqiri leave. Yeah, I agree with both of them, Scotty. John said, if we don't win the league by completing it, then all I want to do is prove that we can see it through and get it properly. Pablo said, Lovren, Lallana and Shaqiri to leave us in this summer. I agree with the 3 that you've put in there, Pablo. I mean, no argument for me on them, mate, whatsoever. Leon said, I hope we get Timo so we can put Bobby in the central attacking midfield role. That's his normal position before Klopp put him there. Yeah, he could definitely play in the hole, mate, for sure. I'd be interested to see if we went with a 4-2-3-1 or a 4-2-1-3 in that scenario. Well, yeah, I suppose a 4-2-1-3 is basically a 4-3-3 really, but with two deeper line midfielders. I say deeper line midfielders when you usually do have those two deeper line midfielders. One of them usually gets a bit more license to roam forward, and the other one sometimes often drops back and splits the centre backs when the full backs become auxiliary wingers in transition going forward. What else is there? They'll all say Mo and Salah at a push. I pray that we don't, said Dunnick it in. Genie will sign and I hope he does, said Scotty. Keita, most likely to leave. Ooh, interesting one. Everything that I've read, and again, this is just reading, so it's not coming out of Kloppo's mouth, but everything that I've read, Doug, said that Jurgen Klopp is unwavering in his belief and his support for Naby Keita. Dunnick it in said Milner to stay. Well, he just signed a new deal a while back, buddy, so Jimmy Milner will be staying. We all know how much Klopp loves James Milner, and you know he is a machine, isn't he, Jimmy Milner? Keita and Matip, said Dara. Wow, again, Matip just signed a new deal recently enough, Dara, and if we're going to be losing Degsy Lovren, I don't know if Matip would go as well. Keita is one that I can understand why people are frustrated with, and I can understand. I mean, I've said to Doug a second ago that I think Klopp wants him to stay, but I mean, I can understand why people think that there is a possibility of Keita to go because he hasn't delivered yet on a consistent basis, be it for whatever reason, a lot of it injuries perhaps. Crosby, how are you, Connor? Connor said Lovren, Shaqiri, Lallana, and maybe one or two more of the push will leave. What about Grujic? Another name to throw at you guys. Lallana, Lovren, Shaqiri, Harry Wilson, Ben Woodburn, all to leave, said Casper. Dave Sweeney said I'd be afraid of Keita not fulfilling his ability. He still has time on his side. He's not, like, what is he, 23, 24, Naby Keita? More likely to lose Matip if one of them decided they wanted first team football, said Brian. Is Fabinho happy with us? Of course. Why wouldn't he be? Fabinho is, I mean, he had a little blip, but he was coming back from I think he was coming back from an injury, if my memory serves me. But yeah, why wouldn't Fabinho be happy? Fabinho was turning into one of the best DMs in Europe under Jurgen Klopp, and he's playing for, I suppose we can still technically call us the reigning European champions, world champions. I think Fabinho's very happy, mate. And any time that there has been any nonsense put in the media about a potential move for him, maybe to PSG and stuff, both himself and his good lady wife have come out and rubbished them. Doug thinks Matip won't league. I didn't know about Milner, said Dunnick at in. Yeah, it was good news, wasn't it, that he signed a new deal. The Benjamin Button of football, Jimmy Milner. Naby Keita could leave with a push, said Casper. Jack's Page said, sorry guys, some of these, e.g. Gomez, are ridiculous. I just can't see any reason at all for the Gomez thing. There was maybe when Matip, I think, was getting a run in the team consistently and Gomez was working his way back from injury. I do remember seeing a story somewhere that had linked him to Arsenal at one point, but then, you know, he established himself as a first choice player beside Van Dijk, so I think that's being put to bed. Connor said, big fan of Grujic, would love to see him make it. So am I. I honestly believe there's a player in Marco Grujic. He has everything needed for the Premier League as well. He's big enough, he's able to cover enough ground, and imagine him coming in and learning off Fabinho and Henderson and Genie. Yeah, I think he does have all the attributes to succeed. I really do. But what will happen with him, I genuinely don't know. Sell Grujic, said John Hamilton. Been no trolls in a while, said Jack. It's usually the watch-alongs, Jack, where you get most of the trolls, mate. That's usually where they come in. Would I keep Keita if we bought Werner for the chemistry? I wouldn't be selling Keita anyway, Josh, to be honest, mate. I'm a massive fan of his, and I think there's a lot more to come. Am I concerned about the injury things? Yes, for sure. But I think we have some of the best medical sports science and nutritionists that exist in football at the club, so they're definitely going to be looking into it and looking into ways to, you know, help prevent, whether it be specific training regimes, whether it be maybe limiting the amount of games he can play. I don't know. It's you know, I'm not qualified to say. Dara said, not sure Minamino will stay. A loan deal's looking likely. Why? I don't get this, Dara. And not a go at you at all, buddy. But a couple of people have said this to me. And Takumi only came in January and has had no time to settle in and play. I don't understand any doubts about him whatsoever. I mean, he deserves plenty of time to get up to speed. He's still learning about the country. He's learning about the league. He's learning about the system the Klopp wants him to play. And everything that I've heard spoken from Takumi has been very positive in understanding the areas that he needs to improve. I wouldn't understand alone. I mean, for Klopp to give up on him that quickly after going out and buying him, and the players speaking so highly of him as well, I don't see it personally. Ben, how are you, mate? Good evening to you. Welcome in. Just seen something saying gonna push the league back again to Thomas. What have we got? Doug, it's a breaking news. European leagues urged not to abandon their seasons and revealed they're working towards plans to resume games and finish them in July. He said that's from Sky. I'm going to open that up just so I can give people an update on that. Right, here we go. I'm going to read out this article that Doug very kindly put into the chat. Connor said give Cater another season. If he's still shite or injured, flog him. I love it. Blunt, straight to the point. Why not? Right, so I'm going to read this article and it is available on Sky Sports app and website if anybody wants to go and have a read of it themselves. And the headline is UEFA against cancelling seasons, hopes for July restart. It says European leagues have been urged not to abandon their seasons after officials revealed they are working towards plans to resume games from July. UEFA, the European Clubs Association and European leagues have written to all 55 member associations, including clubs and leagues, and called them to walk united, I don't know what that means, as they tackle growing issues from, you know what, I don't even want to say the name of it for fear of being demonetised. The letter, seen by Sky Sports News, has made it clear that associations should continue to work towards a resumption of their seasons when it is safe to do so. It is of paramount importance that even a disruptive event like this epidemic does not prevent our competitions from being decided on the field in accordance with their rules, and all that sporting titles are awarded on the basis of results. As responsible leaders in our sport, this is what we must ensure until the last possibility exists and whilst planning, operational and regulatory solutions are available. We are confident that football can restart in the months to come with conditions that will be dictated by public authorities, and believe that any decision of abandoning domestic competitions is, at this stage, premature and not justified. That is a nice fucking way of finishing the stream, ladies and gentlemen. Bit of positive news there from UEFA that they want leagues to give every opportunity for them to finish. I love it. That is a very positive way for us to finish the stream tonight. And Douglas, thank you, mate, for bringing that to my attention, because it's definitely cheered me up. And I want to say again, if you want to have a read of that in more detail, it is available on the Sky Sports app. So go over there and check it out for yourself. I'm sure it'll be available on their Sky Sports News and stuff like that as well. Right, look, ladies and gentlemen, tomorrow we're going to be covering that Newcastle game from 1996. It's 24 years since that amazing game has taken place. The game is going to be shown on Sky Sports Premier League and Sky Sports Main Event. The show starts on Sky at 7:30. We will, of course, I'll be giving you my play-by-play commentary like I do for any other Liverpool game. If you want to have the best experience of that tomorrow, please download the Hot Mic app. Put in the code that you can see on the screen there now, Anfield Agenda, all capital letters, all one word. Give us a follow on there as well. And if you're on YouTube, hit that subscribe button, turn your notifications on. And it'll be nice to call a game of football again tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen, and we'll have a little bit of fun. We'll be starting our show from 7:15 UK time, so a lot earlier than we normally stream. Make sure you've got your notifications turned on. Thank you so much for all your love and support again. I'm sorry for ramming the hot mic thing home, but I hope by explaining to you guys that it can be the difference between us existing and not existing, that you do what you can to help us out and download that app. But look, stay safe, do what we're being asked to do, take care of your families, tell your loved ones that you love them. From my family, to your families, lots of love to you. Thank you for tuning in, and I will see you guys tomorrow and we'll have a bit of fun in that game. Up the motherfucking Reds. Love to you all.